Hi, I'm Jenny Walterman, and this is my Module 1 introduction video. I am a wife, a mother, a grandmother, a gardener, a musician. I was a musician before I became a business teacher. In fact, I taught music for almost 20 years. My husband and I are both musicians, and we played in a band together for many years. We've kind of taken a break from that since COVID. I also love to garden and read. And when I find the time, if I find moments, I like to go out in a kayak and fish and just sit in the silence and enjoy those precious moments because they don't come very often. I work at Paola High School, which is a rural town south of Kansas City, about 45 minutes. I teach business. I've been teaching business for 5 years. Prior to that, I taught music for 20 years. And in my current position, I teach accounting, college accounting, finance, marketing, entrepreneurship, business law, and then I started a workplace internship program at our high school for seniors. They can apply when they're juniors, and they get partnered up with a business in the community, and they can go leave school halfway through the day and go and work in an environment where they can apply skills that they've learned in high school and kind of figure out if that career field is what they want to do in the future. I feel very firmly that you need to give room for growth and give room for people to develop. And I guess going along with the plant theme, because I'm such a big gardener, with my internship program that I started, this is a picture of one of my students practicing presenting an insurance sales pitch to his mom, actually. And he is demonstrating all of the different elements of an insurance policy that he has learned throughout his internship experience. And this particular student used to get so embarrassed to even talk in front of people, and then now he's going out and doing sales calls with an insurance agent, and he can't do much. Obviously, he's not licensed, but just learned so much. It's really a passion of mine to see students grow into themselves. And that's just a little bit behind the scenes of what makes me tick professionally. And my priorities professionally also are doing what's best for kids, hands down. Very important. I will consider that before I consider anything else. And embracing diversity, the things that are different among us or between my students, we need to embrace that. And then seeing every individual in the room, make sure that I notice everybody that I need to notice. And you're all educators, so I'm sure you understand what I'm saying there. And so addressing the questions for our module based on the readings, let's talk about mission versus vision. What's the difference? A school mission statement explains the school's current actions in place that will help attain the vision. And it's an articulated common goal which unifies educators and staff behind a shared statement about learning, the learning environment for the entire school. I kind of like that first bullet point I gave you. It's a little more concise, but those are two different explanations of a school mission statement that I found that I felt were addressing that question fairly well. And then a school vision statement, the difference is it outlines the school values and objectives. And another alternate definition for that would be a statement that communicates a school's highest priorities and describes the hoped for outcome if met successfully. And I like that, the hoped for outcome if met successfully. And I think when I was looking at some vision statements, sometimes we miss out on that piece. We don't really say what's it going to look like when we get to that end goal, what we hope it looks like. Moving on, the role and importance of mission and vision statements is that it keeps the focus on academics. It clearly states the objectives and goals that the district has, and it's easily understood by key stakeholders for effective buy-in from all parties, right? Not just the staff and administration, but also our students, parents, and community members need to be able to understand our mission statement and have effective buy-in. And then working together communicates who is being served and what goals will be achieved and how the attainment of success will be achieved and how that will be measured. A collaborative development process that is actionable and attentive to values. So this is going to require a shared vision that starts by allowing space for candid and open conversations. Usually it involves a diverse group of people. You want it to be a diverse group of people from various facets of the academic community, because you want to make sure that you're considering the vision from all aspects, from people from all different places in their life that can bring something valuable as far as feedback to the table, so to speak. And it prompts a unified response of agreement by all stakeholders, and addresses and includes core beliefs of the district, and it's an achievable commonality and goals that must move beyond demands for excellence through policy, procedure, or mandates. Well-written characteristics of a mission and vision statement is that it's clearly stated. It maintains focus on the core purpose. It doesn't get so wordy that we lose focus on what we're trying to do. And then acts as a guiding compass for staff and administration so that everyone can identify with the vision. Some common problems that can be developed when we have a mission or a vision statement that is not as clear as we would like would be, you might have a lot of edu-speak in there, which is a lot of academic terminology that you would hear in maybe a PD meeting, but a parent of a second grader on the sidewalk would not understand what we're talking about. So make sure we leave out acronyms or abbreviated words that mean something to us in the professional industry, but not necessarily to the layman that would hear that. If the mission or vision statement leaves out diverse groups and only focuses on one group, and if the message is muddy or the delivery of it is muddy, if it's not as concise as it could be, or if it uses obscure words that sound fancy but don't really convey what you're trying to say. And then if the message gets lost, the lack of sharing the vision once it's written can happen here is that you write a great vision statement, you had excellent planning meetings, everybody came together, shared their ideas, wrote a great mission or vision statement, but then you didn't do anything with it. It didn't go anywhere. Maybe you put it up on a plaque in the district offices. So I need to make sure that it gets shared out and that you communicate the branding of the vision. Make no mistake, we're a nonprofit, we're in education, but there is marketing and branding that needs to happen in order to ensure everybody understands what the common goals of the district, administration, students, staff, and community are. So my thoughts on mission vision statements is that total buy-in is hard work, but totally worth it. And I could see how sometimes buy-in is going to be difficult if you have a lot of negative people on your staff, or they are like, I'm 3 years from retirement, I'm not changing the way I'm doing anything. That kind of attitude can be kind of toxic a little bit and bring the group down and make the ones that are excited about it not excited anymore. And then the people that are kind of apathetic, it gives them an excuse to stay there. So total buy-in is hard work. It requires a lot of effort on the part of the administrative staff, and it can be done, but it's a lot of work, and you have to know that going in. You're gonna have to know that some days it's gonna feel successful and some days it's not. But more thoughts on that. Passionate people who want to work and be inspired by other passionate people really will embrace a well-written mission and vision statement, I believe. A frequent change in administration affects faculty morale and the willingness to achieve common goals. So if every time you have administration changes in your building, the building mission or vision statement gets changed, or the message to the faculty changes, it can be really hard to continue to collaborate and build around a common goal or a common theme for the building. And that's just something that I've dealt with some in the past, that I recognize how we maybe everybody gets on board with one new agenda or idea, and then everything changes, and it just gets exhausting after a while to continue to try to get excited about every new idea that every new principal has. So I'm packing that away in my brain to remember for later that we don't need to come in and change everything right off the bat. Anyway, hiring around the vision really spoke to me when I read that in one of the articles, that you need to hire the people that are going to continue to move your building and your staff in a uniform way towards your vision, and hiring around that rather than just taking, whoever happens to apply is really important. And it speaks to where your goals really are as a principal if you are hiring to the standard that you expect everybody to follow. Implementation and branding are vital. I mentioned that in the previous slide. We must market our message and make sure it gets out there, not just to the community, but also to the staff and students. It needs to be everywhere. They need to know what the common goal of the whole district is. And then sustainability beyond turnover and staff changes can be tricky as well. Talking about sustaining the vision of a district when you have maybe a high turnover rate, maybe it's an urban area and you're struggling to keep teachers, maybe you have new teachers every year, that can be a tricky thing also, and it's just something to consider. These thoughts aren't some of them sound negative, but it's really just me saying, okay, you need to store this information so that you acknowledge it, so that you can process it, so you can be successful. And so my school district, Paola School District, it was interesting. I went to look and there was a lot, 3 different things out there. So the first one is the district mission statement on the district website is the Paola School District mission is academic success and personal growth for every student. Then they had a vision statement directly underneath that said ensuring success for all students. And then I go to my high school website, and on the main page of the high school website is the high school mission statement, which is different from the district mission statement. The Paola High School community provides an opportunity for learning experiences which stimulate continual educational growth appropriate to students' individual future goals. A lot of words there. Let's dig into it. Okay, so some of my reflections on our district's mission and vision statement, based on the research that I read in the articles, I do think that first one, the district mission statement, states the current action plan, which is the academic excellence. It says the Paola School District mission is academic success and personal growth for every student. So they did say what their action plan is. Their current action plan is academic excellence, and it qualifies that statement to include a desire for all students to have personal growth. So I felt like that was good. I feel like the vision statement is almost too short. It communicates the desire for all students to have success, but what does that really mean? How is that going to be measured? How will it be achieved? What will it look like when we're done? Is that all you have to say about that, right? Is it just ensuring success for all students? That really doesn't qualify what success is. I don't know. That's just my opinion. I don't feel like that's a very strongly written vision statement. So I think, and my second question, should it be refined more? I do think it should. So some of my suggestions would be to ask questions. I like to go in and ask questions so that I can really understand what people are thinking before I start giving my opinions about things. So I would ask questions to prompt discussions and invite revisions and clarification to the process. After asking questions and listening for feedback, I would probably suggest inviting various individuals from the academic community to include students, parents, teachers, and community members to be involved in the discussion. That really spoke to me in one of the articles about involving a lot of different stakeholders in participating in writing your mission and vision statement. And I think that is crucial for total buy-in. And then I would also suggest evaluating how to incorporate social emotional learning into the district goal in a more meaningful way that will support personal and individual growth that is not only measured by academic data. And so kind of talking about, what does a successful student look like? Is it just somebody that goes to college and finishes 4 years of college? How do you measure that? What does it look like? And are we considering how their social emotional needs and success plays into our education of the whole child? Okay. I also would encourage unification of the mission and vision statements so that we have a common goal. I think it's okay for the school to have a slightly different mission statement, but I think that they need to be speaking from the same thread, right? And so maybe the high school mission statement embellishes on what the district has stated, but I don't feel like they should feel like two completely separate statements that exist apart from each other. I think we should still have unified branding of our district that we can identify what it is no matter what building we're in. And then I would say implement better communication and marketing of our district's vision and mission statements for our students, because it was not too hard to find, but not really out there either. And I don't really see it in our building anywhere either. So I think definitely we could do a better job with branding what our goals are and communicating that out. So then this is my standard correlation, relevancy, and reflection on the component for standard 1, which was component 1.1. Which states collaboratively evaluate, develop, and communicate a school mission and vision designed to reflect a core set of values and priorities that include data use, technology, equity, diversity, digital citizenship, and community. And so then I typed up my responses to that. I'm not sure if I was supposed to read them or not, so I'll go ahead and do that. And if nobody else does, then I'm sorry. But this assignment demonstrates a correlation to the standard in that it required synthesis of information regarding school mission and vision statements, what constitutes a valuable and effective vision. And then for relevant, it's relevant to the standard component because this assignment is relevant to my current learning, because I need to be able to effectively communicate core values and academic priorities to my staff in a manner that unifies a team toward a common goal. And then my reflection on this was that I didn't realize how much goes into a mission and vision statement. And I've probably been using those terms interchangeably for quite a while. And that they're two separate things with two separate goals in mind. And it was interesting to discover the difference between the two, and very valuable to look at examples of school mission and vision statements for different grade levels. That was not the Georgia Leadership Institute. That was another article, but it had like 79 examples of different ones, and it was neat to see it by grade levels, by different school levels. I thought that was really cool, and some really powerfully written mission statements in there. And then I also thought that the resource for the Georgia Leadership Institute was incredibly helpful and comprehensive in how to establish, grow, and refine a common vision within a district. Boy, you could just spend a really long time with that document because it was just so chock full of so much information. It was a lot to try to get through in a couple days so that I could record this video for you. But these are my references for the assignment. I guess I should move myself over. Here we go. There you go. Now you can see all of my citations. And that is it for me. I will see you in the community, and I hope you all have a good evening or day, whatever time you're reading this.